on. So let me just double check that it's all working. Welcome if anyone's already there. Let me just see. There we go. Yes, it is going. Fantastic. Welcome, welcome. Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. and welcome to my live. So excited to share this with you tonight, the specialty cork paper. So it is just amazing. I'll grab it over here while I've got you here. This is just, it's so, hi Bev, thank you for joining in. Hi Helen, gosh, you're early. It is just, honestly, it feels like cork, but really soft cork, and it's got sort of gold in the background. It really is amazing. I do love it. I just think it's fantastic. So we're going to be using this tonight. We're going to cover a notebook with it. So let's flick over to my desktop. Excellent. So I have popped on the back of this. Now, I keep forgetting to use it, and it's really such a fantastic thing to have in your stash, is these adhesive sheets. I don't know if you have seen them, but they are really brilliant for something like this, when you don't want to just plonk a whole lot of glue. If you're cutting out something even with dies and you want to have the adhesive, must be daylight snacks. You get hungry early, don't you? You want to die cut something and it's intricate, and you already have the you want to have the adhesive on the back rather than having to put glue and things like that. It really does come in handy, and it's split into three like that, which made it really easy for popping that backing on there. So if you haven't seen those, I really would add them to your supplies, because they are very, very handy. Okay, so I've got a notebook here, and this is what we're going to be covering. These are really inexpensive from the, I think I got these in New Zealand in the warehouse, and it was like 99 cents for this. So wonderful thing if you wanted to get a few to create presents for people at Christmas, or to add into a stocking, or just something like that. Really super easy, or something you could actually teach kids to make as a sort of a little novelty project. So I've cut this piece of cork specialty paper out, and it's 22 centimeters by 16.5. Now I do have to just grab my pick me tool to get the backing off. Now I left a little bit of extra on each side for folding over onto the inside, and oh, that's quite interesting looking, isn't it? So it does come off easily. A bit easier actually than, I don't know if you've used the double-sided tape. I always find that a little bit difficult to start peeling. I couldn't pre-do any of this, of course, because I'd probably have ended up with everything stuck to it. Now I didn't put any adhesive in the middle there. And sorry. Boring. It's like watching paint dry. I love your green free card today. Oh, thank you, Helen. Yeah, I love doing that sort of thing. That's sort of my favorite thing, is using this, just using blending brushes, but clear embossing on the coloured cardstock, so the trees remain the same colour. It really is fantastic. Such a simple thing to do, but so effective. Okay, now I'm going to have to make sure I get this on. Now, before I start, I've actually got a piece of ribbon that is going to be tucked under the cover, but can be used as a sort of a bookmark for when you are, someone's writing notes in here. And I've stuck that on with double-sided tape, probably over generous. You don't need to be that generous with it. Yes, I just got a bit carried away. But it does help keep it quite strong. So let's tuck that in so it doesn't get caught up. And I'm going to pop that down the middle. There we go. I don't think I've ever done a 3D element on here before. So I'm really wanting to make sure, because I don't want to, which I think I already have, gone crooked. Let's see how good this is at coming off if you need it to. Okay, it is very sticky. Okay, so I'm going to do it this way, I think. I've cut the top level with the top of the notebook. So that was what I was trying to line up. There we go. That's better. And then I'm going to fold that over. And I've probably made that a little bit short, actually. But, oh my goodness, this is a disaster. Well, this is not what you do, but I will continue to do the front anyway. I should have had a practice, but I didn't want to waste the paper. There we go. It's fine. Absolutely fine. So I've managed to meet, so that is cut in line with the top and the bottom and folded over on the inside, just to keep that tidy. Okay, so now to decorate it. Oh, it just feels so nice. I just got to keep touching that. Okay, so I have pre-done a few things. Absolutely in love with the Harvest Meadow dies. I don't know if you've had a play, anyone's had a chance to play with these yet. So what I thought I would do, I've done, because this has got gold in the background, I thought I would use gold, some gold embellishments. Now I could have actually used this paper once again on the back of this before I die cut, if I was sensible, before I popped it on here. So that would be one of the really great ways to use that, but I'm just going to use a bit of glue for now. I want to try and get it as pretty flat as possible, because you don't want the notebook to be catching on things when it's in someone's purse or they're carrying it around to use. And I'm just going to sort of put them down there. Maybe best to take the backing off one at a time. Yes, I think so. I've never used the backing in that way before. I've only ever used it on the back of die cuts. So I didn't realize how extremely sticky it is. So yes, one side at a time would definitely be the way to go. Definitely. It is, I can tell you, very, very sticky. So just know that. Now I wanted to add a little bit of color to this, which is a good thing. You don't want it to be coming off the notebook, do you? So, I mean, it's just knowing that it is a little bit quite very, very sticky is good to know. So I'm just using my blending brush, and I've got a bit of Granny Apple Green here. And I'm just going to add a little bit of that on here. Not too much. Whoops. And then I've also got just light. I just want a real hint of colour. I don't really want to colour it deeply. I spent lockdown last year covering library books. Oh, you're an expert. Yes. Wow, you should have. I remember the days of trying to cover blinking Duracell or whatever it was. Oh dear. I remember when they brought out, I can't remember the brand now, but they brought out the ones that you just slip in. You don't have to glue them on. They just cover the book by poking them into the sleeves on each side. Oh, what a lifesaver. I could never get that Duracell to look flat without creases and things like that. It was a nightmare. I'm sure there was some experts out there, but so I'm just putting a bit of balmy blue on the top just to give a little bit of interest, so it's not stark white. Yeah, so maybe that's what I was struggling with there, trying to get that on. You see, it reminded me of covering exercise books. Okay, so a bit of balmy blue, and we will pop that on as well. Just a bit of glue. So things do stick well. Sometimes you find with the specialty papers, things don't stick on them as well, but these are sticking really well with the glue. So that's good to know. Okay, you could give me a lesson. Okay, you're on. Sounds good. Okay, so I'm going to use, now you can't, I have found that using the Seal Plus on something that's been embossed or the paper has been broken. I'll show you. Does it have a texture? Yes, it does. Very soft texture. Sort of, it really does look like thinly sliced cork, but and really, really soft. And it's got like gold inlay at the back. It really is. I just really do love it. Now, I'm just going to see if this works. Okay, that did work. Sometimes I find that if it's been embossed, though this part of it's not embossed as much, it lifts up the paper, but that was perfect. Okay, so I'm just going to add a bit of the gold shimmery ribbon. So that is called, so I should have told you with the other ribbon, this is shimmer ribbon, gold shimmer ribbon, and the ribbon I'm using for a bookmark is Pool Party. Pool Party, what is it, striped gross grain ribbon. Okay, so let's trim that down. Now, I might use double-sided tape for this because I don't like putting glue on the back of ribbon. This never seems to sit right, and it sort of gets sort of bobbly, doesn't it? Well, I find it does. I find tape much better. And just a couple of pieces is probably all we need. So I quite like putting something at the bottom like this because I don't sort of like my flowers to be floating or people not to be standing on the ground or that sort of thing. So I'm just going to put this across, but we will use that to put the words on as well. So I would be lost without my Pick Me tool. I just find this tool so handy for this sort of thing. Just a hint if you're trying to get tape up and it's not coming, if you give it a good press, seems to really help. Okay. I'm going to pop that this way. Now for this, I have used, I'm going to trim that down. I have used this, and I meant to look up the name, sorry, it's one of the smaller embossing folders with the leaves on the side there. Really cute. Perfect for doing this sort of thing. So I'm going to just cut that. I left it just a little bit big on purpose so I can trim it neatly. Right. So the next thing I have used so these were the dies for the flowers, etc. But this is the dies that I've used. These are the playful alphabet dies. I've used these to create some words for the front, and I wanted to just put notes on here, but I didn't want it just to be, I tried the gold and that was too much. So what I have done, now I think I've got one here that I haven't done, I have used the Versamark, and I have just, so the best way to do it I found was to just take the paper to the ink pad and just press down about halfway down, then dip that into your gold or whatever color that you're wanting to use, like so. And of course, the Versamark just sticks it to the bottom there. And then heat emboss it until you have half and half, so to speak. It just makes something just a little bit different for the front rather than just, right. So let's pop these on. So I will start. Now I quite like to, oops, got a bit of powder on there. Start with placing it first. Always a good idea before you start, because you don't want to start towards one end and then find that you haven't got enough room or something like that, or the spacing is all wrong. So I do like to put them in place. So there we go. My nails are getting so long now. I didn't try and buff them down because they'll probably break off, and they've got lots and lots of super glue on them to keep them. Every time they start to lift, I put a bit of glue underneath. So they are staying on at the moment, which very lucky. Hopefully in a week's time, be able to get them done again. Terrible issue to have, but the worst thing is I heard someone actually say, and I really do agree, my hair, my roots of my hair are getting so grey now that I look like a skunk, and this is what this person described her patch down the middle as looking like she is a skunk, which made me really laugh, because I would have to agree. That is exactly what you feel like with a great big streak down the middle. Oops. So I cannot wait to have them done. And the E. Terrible problems to have, isn't it? But I did notice the nails are no, honestly, look at the gap. Such a huge, they're really hanging on by a thread, but that's okay as long as they're still there. That's the main thing. Let's move that over. I've been having them done for so many years now. I don't know what I'd do. Probably not be able to cope. Okay. And do you know what's so excited? I can just hear my mailman come, and I have got two boxes of Stampin' Up! Goodies arriving. You'll be wondering why I'm not rushing out. That's the one good thing about being rural. You get things delivered to the door. So fantastic. Okay, so last thing, I will add a couple of these. These are in the holiday catalogue, the metallic gems and copper, gold, and is it brass? Looks like brass. Okay, let's pop a couple of these on. So I didn't put anything on dimensionals because, as I was saying, I do prefer it to be a little bit flat for this sort of thing. And it's just a simple notebook that it'd be perfect for your order. Oh, I think quite a few people are getting their orders today. Very exciting. And you've got the ribbon that matches for the front of this notebook. So super easy. Make sure that when you use the adhesive backed, make sure I give you the right name, adhesive sheets on the back, that when you go to put it on, you take 1/2 off at a time. Very good. It's very, very sticky. So you don't want to cause any issues with that. The other things that I've made with this gorgeous Cork Specialty Paper. So I made this card here, and this has also got the linen paper on the top, and that has adhesive already on the back that you just peel off. I love the texture of that. And this is on cork paper as well. Whoops, I've just put one of these on there. And then he's knocking at the door, but of course I can't go and answer him. Cork paper there, and is the background, and that's kept this as really sort of a nature's, not nature, but really sort of earthy tones. And I've used it again here as a background and popped a frame and used the same die cuts, and this is the alcohol vellum technique. So you don't even have to use it just as a background. You can also use it as a strip like I've used here, just for a little bit of highlight or something like that. I popped the squirrel on there. I thought that was pretty appropriate to have this squirrel sitting on there. So really, really versatile. I really love it. I would highly recommend having a look at it. It comes in 12 by 12 sheets, and so much you can do with it. So thank you for joining me. And yes, my first venture into making a 3D project with you on this. But yes, hopefully next time I'll be a bit more au fait. Don't really do as many 3D projects, but I did want to share this with you. So take care. As I say, thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you all next week. Bye. I've got to go and